Good afternoon, folks. Today I'm going to talk briefly about Red Storm Rising and one of the weapons that's featured heavily in that book, the ASAT or ASM-135 anti-satellite missile. In the book by Tom Clancy, Red Storm Rising, the U.S. Air Force is able to take out quite a few Soviet satellites using this anti-satellite missile. It's fired off of an F-16 and successfully downs a series of Soviet observation satellites in this book. And it's one of the secondary plot points, but it's quite interesting because this was an actual weapon developed in the mid-1980s. So, a little bit of history on the ASM-135 ASAT. It was designed and built by LTV, so Ling Timko Vought, which was what Vought had become in the 60s, 70s, 80s. So it was not actually the first U.S. anti-satellite weapon. There was a series developed in the late 50s and 60s. Basically, the first one that was in actual service was the Thor anti-satellite version, basically. That was in the 60s, actually in service in the 60s and 70s. In the 1970s, LTV put together this ASAT missile. So it'd be fired from existing aircraft. The first stage was from the Boeing AGM-69 missile. The second stage was an LTV Altair 3, which was a common second stage, like on the Scout rocket. And it also had the RCS thrusters for the missile, so it could, it was the guidance section. The third stage was what's called the MHV, miniature homing vehicle. So this actually carried the warhead itself and had little rocket thrusters on it to spin it up. It would spin up to about 30 RPM before it hit the target. Anyhow, they tested this in 1985. And it successfully shot down a satellite, a Solwind P-78 satellite. It would be launched at about 38,000 feet, just under the speed of sound, about 0.94 Mach. Anyhow, kind of a zoom climb. It'd be dropped from an F-15. The F-15 carried coolant and had a guidance package built into the existing software and radar. Very interesting stuff. Anyhow, it never really entered service. It never really got past the full testing phase. They only shot it once in live fire. So in 1988, it was canceled. Congress had been kind of limiting the usage for it. And at that point, it just got canceled in 1988 by the Reagan administration. But it still made its way into Tom Clancy's book. So now you know a little bit more about the ASM-135 ASAT.